In today's episode of Help I Sexted My Boss, I've got my first draft of my letter to His Holiness the Pope.
We discuss if sliders and socks are ever okay in public.
And we chat about annoying character traits.
And yes, we're on different sides. People are going to kick off. Just go with it.
Bring it.
Hello and welcome to Help I Sexted My Boss, the podcast where we help you navigate the challenges of modern life, answering your 21st century questions and finding solutions to everyday dilemmas. Like, what do you do when your co-host's new fashion statement makes him look like a wartime woman? Is that me or you?
No, I think that was on me in my jumpsuit.
Oh, your jumpsuit. What happens when you go to bed with an itchy bum and you wake up with a brown finger? And what should you do if you've accidentally sexted your boss? But we're not usual agony ants, are we, William Hanson?
No, we're not Jordan North. I'm more inspiration, you're more perspiration.
That was...
From Samantha.
Samantha.
Now, would you like a drink?
Yeah, do I sound a bit weird?
It's like doing an episode with Sean Connery.
Oh, I am really sorry, VG&DIVAs. I wasn't going to mention it, but I've got, I think it's my wisdom teeth coming through. And I've got a mouthful of ulcers again.
Oh.
So, I'm sorry if I'm talking a bit weird.
And you know what ulcers are?
What?
Am I right in saying ulcers are considered a type of gonorrhea, mouth gonorrhea?
No, they're not.
Have I made that up?
Yeah.
I thought they always were.
Ulcers when you bite inside your mouth.
No, I know,
but
it's...
run down.
Oh, okay.
Mouth gonorrhea.
Okay, maybe he doesn't.
I don't know. I've got a sore jaw there as well. Anyway, so sorry if I sound a bit weird.
Oh, it's all right. Well, this will help.
This will help. Medicinal purposes.
I'd like to toast Lauren for this week's toast. She got in touch recently with this message. I went back to work 3 weeks ago after 15 amazing months of maternity leave. I was rather apprehensive about going back and sending my daughter to nursery, so I wanted something to listen to during my commute to take my mind off it. I remembered I'd seen lots of clips of the Sexted podcast, which always made me laugh, so I decided to download a few episodes. I'd just like to say a huge thank you to the whole Sexted team, especially William, Jordan and Ben. I have laughed my socks off every morning, and I'm very proud to say that I'm officially a G&DIVA. No matter how hard the morning has been or how much mum guilt I'm feeling, I wholeheartedly know that Sexted will bring me back down to earth in all of your hilarious northern camp G&D glory, and that the day will be brilliant because you're such an important part of it. So thank you. Here's to you.
Oh, thanks. Cheers. Gasping now.
That's what we've got time for this week. So,
oh, bless you. Thanks, Lauren. And I hope it's all going well back at work. Oh, baby.
So, Jingle Bell. No, what's it called? Summertime Ball.
Summertime Ball.
Yes. How was that?
Fantastic. Brilliant. It was really fun.
Big temperamental diva up on stage. And Mariah Carey. Was she good? What was her favourite hit that she did?
She was brilliant.
Yeah.
She was absolutely fantastic. And I think she was actually very professional from what I gather. I mean, we were that busy. We didn't see much backstage, but she was on time. She didn't have that big of an entourage. She was great. Will Smith was great as well.
Great.
It was really good. I'm very, very lucky that I get to host something like that in front of so many people that listen to our breakfast show every day. So it was great. Such a good laugh. I'm suffering for it a bit today.
Yeah, I can tell.
The time of recording, it's all coming in. Crash, wallop, bang. Sound like Boris Johnson, don't I?
Crash, wallop, bang.
Bang. But
Okay.
it was good fun. How have you been? You all right?
Yes, I can't complain really. I'm sorry I couldn't come to the Summertime Ball. I was invited by various. Yes, I was by various people, but I was unavailable.
Oh right. Why? What were you doing? Also, sorry to interrupt. Can we mention that we're on different ends of the table here? Not that anybody listening will notice.
No.
But for everybody watching on YouTube and our social media clips, for some reason, William wanted to swap sides today. I don't know why.
Just mix it up. It's nice to flip-flop occasionally.
But I'm weird. I feel weird. Not only do I sound weird today, I feel like I look...
Well, if anything, Jordan, it's the side of the camera that's being favoured is your good side now.
Okay.
Of the mouth.
Sorry for interrupting you. So what are you doing? What were you doing?
What was I doing? I was just I was off for work. I was out of London, so I'm afraid I couldn't make it in time. Had it been an evening, I didn't realise that the Summertime Ball starts in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, about 3 o'clock.
Yeah. Had it been sort of 7, 8-ish, I'd have been there.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it starts earlier. But
all right.
it will be in my diary for next year, or indeed at Christmas. Should I get invited again?
Jingle Bell, I've already got people pestering me for tickets.
Because you do that over 2 nights, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully I'll make one of them. We should talk about this week. We can't talk about it too much, but it was great fun. You and I went and recorded an episode for the last ever series of The Wheel.
The last ever series?
Well, you've been on it, so if we follow the template of
It was very, very
the kiss of death. I mean, Jared and all the lovely people there at The Wheel, I don't know what they've just done.
People in the TV industry see me and Paddy McGuinness and think, shit. Oh, God. This is us.
But it was nice to do it one last time. So
it was very fun. It
was good fun.
We were on the double chair together,
yes,
weren't we? Yeah.
If you've watched The Wheel, which is a show on BBC One on Saturday nights in the winter, for those who don't know, it's a quiz show hosted by Michael McIntyre, and everyone sits on. You have sort of experts round the wheel. It's sort of like Trivial Pursuit, whisper it quietly, but on television. And
I never thought of that. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. And you have single chairs, and then a couple of series ago, they introduced the double chair, where they've had people like Jamie Lang and Sophie Haboo.
Danny and Danny Dyer.
Robbie Williams and Mrs. Williams have done it, and various other people. And now us.
It's a bigger chair.
It's a much bigger chair because it's got to fit two people.
It was fun. It really was. Yeah, we got fed well as well. That's always a good sign.
Yes, lovely lamb thingy. Lamb tagine, which was excellent.
When we were discussing our answers, I could tell that you'd had onions.
You'd had onions as well.
No, I didn't. I had the fish.
Oh, you did have the fish, didn't you? Oh, well, I'm sorry.
No, it's all
right. Blame catering.
It's fine. All good. All good. What else has been going on?
Well, I saw my goddaughter, Artemis, and took her to a petting zoo.
Oh, how was that?
It was lovely. Actually, petting zoo's pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought petting zoo might be a little bit tame in comparison to your average zoo. They had a crocodile. You didn't pet that one, I should just point out. That was
at
in
a
cage.
zoo?
Yeah.
Where were you? Steve Irwin's Australian farm?
No, just outside of Bristol.
They had a crocodile in Bristol?
Yeah, I mean, it's not massive, but it's sort of yay big. It's sort of as big as... how big would you call that?
Sure it weren't a lizard? An iguana?
No.
A bearded dragon?
No, it was a crocodile.
In Bristol?
Bigger than the one at Bristol Zoo. I mean, Bristol Zoo is no longer now, but Bristol Zoo used to have tiny, very disappointing crocodiles.
And did your goddaughter enjoy it?
She loved it.
Oh,
she loves
sweet.
Animals. She had a little dinosaur dress on,
Oh.
which was lovely. She's got quite a loud, booming voice, which she gets from her father.
Does she?
And Ellie, her mum, kept saying to her, Artie, indoor voice. We weren't indoors, we were outside, but she kept saying indoor voice. And I was carrying Artie at one point, and Artie just whispered to me, I'm going to let you in on a secret. I've never learned how to do an indoor voice. Just so sweet. So sweet, bless her. But it was lovely to see her. Yeah, it was nice to spend time outdoors. Beautiful weather as well, which was lovely. What were you doing that was wholesome?
I was in Cardiff for our Leeds Stag Do.
Right.
It was absolutely fantastic. Cardiff's gone number one on my top 5 nights out.
Has it?
Oh, they're beautiful, the people in Cardiff. They're lovely. They can't do enough for you. It was like being abroad. There's Coyote Ugly Bar. They let old stags in. At one point, everyone's on the bar dancing. It
sounds gorgeous.
It's fantastic. It really is. A girl came into one of the bars and she said, I knew you was in here. She said, and I was just at the back, like with my brothers and stuff. She said, because I seen one lad dancing with one leg, and I said, that's Jordan North's brother. She says, can I have a picture? I knew you was in here.
Of the leg?
No, not of the leg. So we got a selfie. She was lovely. And yeah, we got hammered. A low point was I went back pretty early and I fell asleep and I woke up starving. So I ordered a kebab in the middle of the night. I'm talking like 1:30, 1:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
The kebab came and I thought it'd automatically come in a wrap or a bit of bread. And it didn't.
What did it come in then?
It just came in a box.
Oh.
Yeah, and they didn't give me a knife and fork, so I had to eat it with my fingers.
Oh.
That was a bit of a low point. I'm eating this like doner kebab. It was delicious with chips and garlic mayo and all the salad. It was perfect.
Could you not phone down and ask some cutlery in the hotel you were staying in?
No, because I was in an easy hotel and they also didn't have an iron or a hairdryer.
Oh.
So it's easy by name, easy by nature.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing is I ate my kebab, fell asleep, and then about half an hour later, my brother come in pissed. Our Ryan I was sharing with. He come in and he went, "You all right?" I went, "Shh, I'm asleep." He went, "Fucking stinks in here. Have you pulled?" It was the kebab. He'd assumed that I'd brought someone back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's how greasy the kebab was, but it was spot on. I absolutely love Cardiff. It was great. It was like, if anybody's thinking, where can I go that's pretty cheap, that's affordable for stag
Will Cardiff be all right being
And we
called
don't
as pretty cheap?
Yeah, and we don't want to go abroad. Cardiff. It's such a good night, like a strip of bars. Yeah, on Saturday we went to what was it called? Brew. Forgot it. It's really good. It's got singers on all day.
Is the name of a bar?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I don't know what happened in my drunkenness. I've put an idea down.
For here or for...
and all I'm going to say, you can tell I'm drunk, and I've put in my notes here on my Help Us Sex, my boss stuff that I want to talk about. It says, okay, don't judge. I ended up in a trap, and she put a boob on my shoulder and just rested her tit on my shoulder, and I was carry on talking. I have no idea what that is.
Okay.
Any help?
Absolutely no help whatsoever.
Okay, don't judge. I ended up in a trap and she put her boob on my shoulder and she was just resting her tit on my shoulder and I was carrying on talking to her. Do you know what that's about?
No.
No, neither do I.
But most importantly, did our Lee have a nice time?
He had the best time, yeah. He had a really good time. He's got some really good mates as well.
How's he feeling about marrying Joanne?
Really can't
Not as in, that's not a reflection on Joanne, about the actual service, the marriage. Is everything going okay for the wedding that's coming up?
Yeah,
I feel we're all invested because it's happening just before Crosswires.
No, it's fine.
No, because the wedding's a big time in anyone's life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything's all right.
Why? What's he told you?
No, he hasn't told me anything.
Does he have second thoughts?
No, absolutely not. Well, he messaged me going, William, because obviously Lee and I share a very special connection.
You kissed on stage once.
Yeah. And backstage. No. But he has previously depped as my husband when we did it. Not like that. When he we did a gag on stage, as it were, where he turned up as Mikey, the builder, because he conventionally looks like how you, in your little weird head, used to imagine Mikey.
Yeah, but it was good. We played foot golf.
Okay.
Golf with a football.
Oh, I see. Okay, not golf just with your feet. Like with a normal sized golf ball.
No, it's a football. But you have to kick it and tell. To be fair, I didn't do that. I just went to Wetherspoons and got pissed from my brother. I couldn't be bothered. I was really tired and hungover. I did play mini golf and darts. We went to play darts as well.
Nice. Did you see anything at the Millennium Centre? Any show?
No.
Taking a bit of culture?
Yeah, we went to Coyote Ugly Bar.
I'm not sure that counts as culture. No.
I'm trying to think what else we did. It was good. Yeah.
Do you even know what was on at the Millennium Centre?
What is the Millennium Centre?
That was the one time of where I last, in 2015, when the 2014-2015 tour of Mary Poppins was coming to an end.
Oh.
And I thought it was going to be the last time I saw it. Little did I know I would see it 23 other times after that. But at the time, I thought it would be the last time I'd see it. And she didn't fly at the end because there was an issue.
Oh.
And I was so miserable driving back from Cardiff. Mikey was actually driving, and the tour was then going to Zurich. And I was genuinely looking up flights to Zurich to go and see it in Zurich because I went, this cannot be my last memory.
That is obsession.
Of Mary, yeah.
Why couldn't she fly?
Obviously, it's a safety comes first, and if there is anything that goes that they think is it's glitching, they don't risk it. So she didn't fly, and that's the bit where I'm normally in floods of tears. And I was, to be fair, I was in floods of tears, different reasons.
What did you do? Just go off stage?
No, nothing. I mean, if you do that, and I won't spoil it for too many people because it's still on tour. I'm seeing it in a few weeks. Again, if you take away the flying, very anticlimactic. All the family do, Mr. Banks, Mrs. Banks, Jane and Michael, just stand on stage.
And what does Mary do?
Absolutely bugger all. She's backstage. Nothing.
Yeah, but how does she exit?
Well, she doesn't.
What do you mean? So she must exit?
She just walks off stage.
Oh, okay.
Well, she walks off stage anyway. Then there's a little vignette with the family, and then Mary arrives and off she goes.
You should have got your money back.
Well, the rest of the show is very nice.
Anyway, you ready for Jordan's Jolly Joke of the Week?
Well, before that, Jordan, I want to talk to you about His Holiness again.
Oh, God.
Can you remember you asked me what the Catholic Church's position was on giving contraceptive to rats in New York City?
Oh, God.
And we suggested that we should write to the Vatican City.
Yeah.
I've drafted a letter.
I'm
going to send it very shortly after this.
Have you actually?
Yes. I've got it here.
Oh, fantastic.
This is the draft, but this is coming from the podcast. So If there's anything that you want tweaked, speak now.
Okay.
If not, I will handwrite this up and pop it in the post tomorrow to Vatican City. It might take a while for us to get a response, but I hope we do get one. And it goes like this. Your Holiness, I trust this letter finds you in good health and enduring grace and are settling in well to the Apostolic Palace.
Who's Grace?
No, it's one of the nuns. No, just good grace, you know.
Okay.
I do hope I'm not being too forward, but a matter of delicate concern has recently caught my attention via one of the podcasts I do. I won't tell you the title here, as I'm not sure Your Holiness would approve. Anyway, I had to bring this matter to your esteemed notice. I refer, Your Holiness, to an initiative currently being trialled in New York City, a place not without its moral complexities, whereby contraceptive pills are being administered to rats.
Okay.
All good so far?
Yeah, it's very good, very good.
The stated aim is to curb the unbridled romantic enthusiasm of the urban rodent population whose nocturnal activities have resulted in what is described in municipal documents as a public hygiene challenge.
Oh.
And so, Your Holiness, in the spirit of interspecies decorum, I felt compelled to inquire as to the Roman Catholic Church's official stance on this prickly matter. While I am more or less well versed in the Church's teachings on human contraception, I must confess to a certain theological fuzziness when it comes to the reproductive liberties of vermin. Would the distribution of rodent contraceptives be regarded as an interference in the supposed divine order of nature, or may one consider such intervention acceptable, perhaps even merciful, given the evident and understandable reluctance of New York citizenry to extend hospitality to a swelling brood of whiskered inhabitants? With every possible expression of respectful admiration, and should Your Holiness ever require assistance with the correct placement of pudding cutlery during a state visit, I remain very much at your service. With spiritual admiration and ecclesiastical curiosity, your humble correspondent, William Hanson, etiquette coach, cultural attaché, and friend of the cloth.
Right, where do I start?
If you need it, it's
who's
there.
What? He said. If every possible,
Hopefully he gets what I mean.
With spiritual admiration and ecclesiastical curiosity, what's that mean?
Well, I'm curious as to the ecclesiastic position on contraceptive to vermin.
Your humble correspondent.
Yeah, well,
should it be servant?
So
You're not Catholic.
No. So genuinely, I have spent a large proportion of my life that I didn't think I needed to spend looking up how non-Catholics write to the Pope.
Oh.
So if I were Catholic, I would have ended it differently.
What would you have ended it with?
Almost like you'd write to the British monarch, I have the honour to remain your Holiness's humble and obedient servant.
Friend of the cloth? I thought it was friend of Dorothy.
I'm sorry?
I thought you said etiquette culture.
No, friend of the cloth, meaning, of the priesthood.
Put friend of Dorothy on there as well.
I'm not sure that will get me a response.
No? Okay.
Just got a hunch.
Put etiquette culture and then put... But no, you're not putting me on there?
Well, I could sign it from both of us.
P.S.
Jordan says hi.
Send God and Jesus our love.
Right.
There you go.
Okay, I'll put a PS. And
Because you've not mentioned God or Jesus, and that's basically who he's there for.
Well, no, but His Holiness is supposedly their representative.
Yeah, so that's why you say, P.S. Send God and Jesus our love.
Okay, fine. I'll do that.
Yeah.
But no, I spent a lot of time researching that, and there isn't really an answer. So if any Roman Catholics or anyone that knows, genuinely, I am actually super interested to know. Oh, now what's he right? PPS. Wow.
My co-host
2 PPs.
knows some cracking jokes about nuns.
My co-host once headbutted one on the tube.
If you ever want to hear them. I did once headbutt a nun, but
I think we leave that out the letter.
leave that out there. That's
okay.
me and
In
God.
all seriousness, I will make those additions. I will put that on headed writing paper. I will post that to Vatican City, and if we ever get a response, however short, we'll do it on this podcast.
Great, fantastic. You're a good egg.
How many other podcasts write to the Pope?
Exactly.
It's different. Now I'm ready for Jordan's Jolly Joke of the Week. Is it related to nuns?
2 nuns in a brothel. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. What's the difference between light and hard?
I don't know.
I'll tell you the punchline after the break.
If you like a chap who's cheeky and northern, you're in for a treat with our Jordan. And if a giggle is what you seek, you're sure to love Jordan's Jolly Joke of the Week. Cha 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 cha.
All right, VIG&DIVAs, thanks for sticking with us. It's now time for the second part of the episode. But first, time for Jordan's Jolly Joke of the Week. What's the difference between light and hard?
I don't know.
We can sleep with a light on.
Everyone's laughing. Everyone's laughing. I smiled.
They're all laughing, yeah. So let's just leave it at that.
They
Always leave them wanting more is my motto.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a shame you don't have another one.
I know. Okay, so there you go. That's a good one.
We've had a message from Becky who wants our opinion on something just before we get on to those dilemmas. She writes, we've had plenty of fair weather recently, which means there have been plenty of men in sliders in public.
Oh, yeah.
Petition to use William's etiquette status to have this outlawed. I honestly can't stand to see it. Sliders are for putting the bins out and nothing else. I see a man in sliders on the high street and he may as well be walking around with his top off for all the disgust I feel. They are always misshapen, dirty, don't fit. Hate. I even think Jordan would agree. He's a stylish man. And no matter his humble roots, I can tell he hates sliders too. Hashtag ban sliders now. Thank you, heart. Do you hate sliders?
No, Becky, I quite like the socks and sliders. Though. In fact, it's been known, I often wear my Birkenstocks and white socks when I go for my little weekend walk around the cemetery.
So much to unpack in one sentence.
You know, those Birkenstocks are back in at the moment. That when you see
Yeah, my grandmother used to wear them.
Not the toeless ones, the cloggy type ones. What are they called?
Mules? I don't know.
But I've had them for about a year now. And I wear them, but I don't mind socks and sliders. I think they look pretty cool in certain.
Are there no parks near where you live? Why a cemetery?
It's just,
It's nearby.
Yeah, it's a park cemetery.
That particular cemetery, various people messaged me to say, back in the day, used to be known for many other things.
What, burying people?
No.
Right.
Stiffs of another variety, let's put it that way.
Oh.
But whatever you get up to at the weekends, no judgment here.
Oh.
Is that why you leave it walking like John Wayne?
That explains it. Yeah. Often on my walk.
What happens?
Well, I'm usually listening to a podcast. I often listen back to the episodes on here. I was listening to an episode whilst a VIG&DIVA came up to me.
Oh.
He said, I listen. I went, I'm just listening to this week's before it goes out.
Oh, that's
There you
nice.
go.
Well, that's lovely.
Now it's time for your questions and dilemmas. Remember, if you need our help with something, then get in touch. You can send your tales of trepidation to help@sexedmyboss.com, or you can DM us with Sex and My Boss on the socials, or you can write to William, who, in the fullness of time, promises a handwritten reply on one of our luxury greeting cards with executive self-seal envelopes. The address is on the website, sexedmyboss.com.
You know your jaw's been hurting. Has that got anything to do with the cemetery?
No, I hope not.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
I shouldn't think so.
Let's start with a dilemma from Anonymous. Hello, William Jordan, EPB, and the Sexted entourage. EPB, by the way, still not here. I'm writing with the dilemma of
Where is he?
on holiday. I know, dare he. I'm writing with the dilemma of my past from when I was a 20-something girl with a Hinge profile. I spent a few days chatting to a man, or should I say boy, who I matched with. All was going well, and he asked to take me out on an official date. Once date, time and location were all agreed, I doled myself up and went to meet him. I arrived at the bar before him and ordered and paid for a large white wine. When he arrived, he greeted me and then went to the bar, ordered himself a pint, and didn't ask if I wanted anything. Unfortunately, I knew from the moment we met that this would be our first and last date. However, I pride myself on being a polite human being, so I continued. He sat down and began to tell me how hungry he was. I really didn't want to drag this out any longer than necessary and tried to make excuses as to why we shouldn't go for dinner, but he persisted. 20 minutes later, I found myself in a local curry house ordering some food and a bottle of wine. After the meal, the bill arrived, £60, and although I was very keen to pay my half, he refused and paid the whole thing.
Oh, what a gentleman.
He then asked me point blank if I would like to see him again. After being a people pleaser for my entire life, I took this opportunity to be brutally honest for the first time. I think the wine gave me Dutch courage. I politely told him I didn't think we were a good match and didn't see it going anywhere. In a true gentlemanly fashion, so I thought, he took the news gracefully and said he had appreciated me being honest to his face rather than ghosting him. After the date, I ordered a taxi home and thought nothing more of it. The next morning, I woke up to a very rude message from him saying he felt made a fool of for paying for the meal when I clearly had no intention of seeing him again. He then sent me his Monzo details and asked me to transfer him my half of the bill. I should mention again, the bill was £60. Gobsmacked, I sent him £35, 30 for the food, and £5 extra to make him feel like a dickhead. All my friends told me I was ridiculous for sending him anything and should have just blocked him. So here is my dilemma. Is it correct etiquette to ask for half of the bill after a date just because it didn't go your way? Or should you bow out gracefully and take it as a loss? Lots of love, Anonymous.
What a knob.
Yeah.
Also, it kind of is a gentleman because, you know, if you're going to go for a curry, he wasn't expecting sex because no one's shagging after a curry, whether you're gay, bi, straight, or bloody whatever.
I always have a rule, no ass after a madras.
Exactly. Exactly.
Just made that up.
But nobody is shagging after a curry.
No.
Nobody. So at least he wasn't expecting that. I think he did the right thing, send the money. I think it proved him. Why? It's not very. Why would you do
I would
that?
have just blocked him.
Would you have not paid it?
No, because Anonymous says, assuming what Anonymous is saying is correct, at the time they went, I'd like to pay my half. He said no.
Yeah.
You did
I
offer.
can't believe he got back in touch. I mean, I know 30 quid's 30 quid, but still, where's your dignity, man?
A friend recently told me, and I'm not quite, I need to sort of, hopefully
As
I
if he did that.
A friend recently told me, and I have to get the story right, but they had arranged to meet up with someone on one of these apps, you know, just on a short-term basis. And the friend then, the person that they had arranged to meet, they hadn't met before, then said, yeah, you know, I'm on my way over. Can you pay for my Uber to get there? And my friend was like, well, no. And they were in a city where there's good public transport. It's not like they were in the middle of nowhere. And he's like, oh no, that's the rule. That's the rule in this city. I'm not going to say the name of the city. Not in this country. But that is and then he messaged me going, can I just ask, in your dating etiquette experience, of which is very limited, that is absolutely not a thing. You potentially might afterwards, maybe.
Yeah.
But not to bring them there, because there's a thin line. This is what I said to my friend. There's a thin line between, you know, that and basically then it becomes like prostitution.
Is it?
Well, it's a bit odd to then. Do you not think that's odd?
Yeah, but it's not prostitution.
Yeah, I'll come over and we'll hook up, but you pay for my tax.
I think you're blurring the lines between prostitution and paying for someone's cab there.
No, but I just don't think it is the expectation, if you do hookups, that the person that you are hooking up with, who's doing the travelling, you pay for their cab. Right. I think that's very odd. Certainly not in advance. But anyway, it's been a long time since I've even had to worry about that, so who knows? This next dilemma is from Anonymous. Hello to everyone at Sexted HQ. I have a dilemma. I was on a dog walk when my dog started doing her business. I went to pick it up and realised she was struggling. I saw a bit of grass poking out of her bottom. So I pulled it out, with the poo bag over my hand, of course. I picked up the poo from the floor, stood up, and noticed she was still straining. So I lifted up her tail and saw a small bit of poo still stuck. I did the only thing one can do in such a moment. I started to pull it out. What happened to our moratorium on poo? However, it wasn't a small bit of poo. It was huge and grassy. I kept pulling, and suddenly it was like a plug had been released, and what I can only describe as a poo-nami followed. It was precisely at this moment that someone walked past. They laughed at the scene before them and simply said, "There's no dignity for us or the dogs, is there?" I just laughed and agreed. So my question is, what is the etiquette when someone walks past while you're pulling out poo out of your Jack Russell's butt?
Laugh and smile. And what makes you proud to be British? Because in America, they're like, gee, man, that guy's molestering that dog.
Molestering?
Whereas in this country, we knew exactly what was happening. And I was going to say, you won't be the first or the last dog owner to pull shit out of a dog's ass. You really won't. It's done.
It's one of the things that is putting me off getting any form of dog, is that side of things.
Yeah.
Even if they do it on... I mean, I know it's responsible dog ownership. If they do a poo outside, you clean it up and dispose of it. I'm not saying I would do anything but that, but I don't really want to do that. So I don't think dogs are for me.
Yeah, I think you handled it very well. And the person that walked past nailed it. Very British. There's no dignity for us older dogs, is there?
Yeah.
There you go. Because they've probably done it. I draw the line at doing the glands. Apparently that's meant to be horrific. If you can afford it, go to the vets.
We're going to crash on now. This is from Mark. Hello, William Jordan and the Sexted crew. A bit of a strange one. probably not in comparison to what we've just had. More of a question directed towards William than Jordan. Sorry, Jordan. Though he might be able to help anyway.
I am here.
I'm a performer.
Oh, aren't we all, love?
I'll spare you the details of what kind.
Put those lights on me. Show us.
I'll spare you the details of what kind, but it involves some character work along with physical elements.
Am I missing something?
Are they an adult performer? I don't know. Well, we'll find out. Recently, I created a new character who is snooty and snobby. A highly educated...
Are those brick walls fake?
What, behind us?
Yeah. Is it a set? I've never noticed that from this angle. Hang on.
Jordan, you're tied into the desk.
Oh!
Jordan, I mean, I'm sorry, but this is a bit like you noticing that our microphones have got our names on.
I didn't even notice them before, I don't think. I'm noticing more stuff about this podcast now.
Anything else you'd like to know?
No, sorry, I interrupted you there.
That's all right. Shall we continue with Mark's letter?
Yes, carry on. Sorry.
Recently, I've created a new character who is snooty and snobby, a highly educated being who looks down on others. The goal with this character is to be hated. I want to be the bad guy in this situation.
Ah.
Now, I'm not implying in the slightest that William could relate to this, of course not. But are there any mannerisms or traits I could use that would really get under people's skin? Something like eye rolling, correcting grammar, or other subtle irritants. And perhaps Jordan can weigh in here too. What really grinds your gears? I'm looking for any tip or trick to make this character as infuriating as possible. Thanks in anticipation, Mark.
So when they're that sort of performer. Well,
maybe they are just an actor.
Constantly correct how they talk and pronounce things. That's really annoying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And say really sarcastic things followed by a long pause. That's quite annoying. Like, And just be quite judgmental in general. Everything they say, just be judgmental. And if you don't say anything, just give them a look, a little mannerisms.
Yeah.
Mannerisms.
Film a video eating a banana with a knife and fork. That'll wind everyone up.
Exactly.
Yeah. The number of international, in fact, I should send you them, the number of international, mainly American news organizations where they are giving their opinion on me eating that banana with a knife and fork is quite extraordinary.
It's mad,
I mean, there must be like 40 now. It's gone bonkers. So you could just do that, Mark. But I'd like to know more about what sort of performer you are. You could say suit. I mean, basically, if you actually speak properly, people find that very irritating. Which is a great shame.
It's probably one of those performers where I might be wrong, but you hire them and they role play. So like...
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Apparently,
he says.
Round Westminster.
Okay.
Have I seen this on telly or on TikTok or something? There's a woman who makes a fortune and she's a performer and she pretends to be a nanny.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of Tory MPs, I assume...
Sure, also from any political party for balance.
Absolutely buzz off it. And she's packed out nightly. So I'm just saying, that's her role as the nanny.
Okay.
And yeah, I think, did I see that on TikTok or did a mate tell me that? I can't remember. But it makes sense, doesn't it? Oh, nanny, no. Also a bit fucking weird, but anyway.
Just a touch weird, yeah. No. Were you trying to get anything off your chest there when you were going through that list of irritants?
No.
Because I also like to think I think I'm quite laid back now.
Yeah.
All right, say that with confidence.
Yeah.
I very rarely correct your grammar now.
No, you don't. You know,
don't scratch yourself. I think I did on the wheel, actually.
You used to be like Thrush. You used to be really fucking irritating. But now you're more like chlamydia.
I mean, you'd know.
I beg your pardon.
Is that less irritating?
I don't know, actually.
Amazing what you can pick up in a cemetery.
You were Thrush, now you're Scrot Rot. No, Scrot Rot's
what the
really
hell is
irritating.
Scrot Rot?
Scrot Rot's really irritating. Now you're Jogger's Nipple. No, that's irritating as well.
And now I'm like an ulcer in your mouth.
No, that's agony. You were Thrush, now you're like a little rash.
Right.
Yeah. Now you're like dry skin. Oh, I am lovely, Tiana.
Oh, Jordan, you say all the right things.
Way we words, Anna.
You do.
I know.
You're like, W.H. Jordan. Oh, you won't know.
Aren't they closing down?
Another one from Anonymous.
Richard and Judy in their book club or something?
What's W.H. Smith becoming? It's like TJ something. Not TJ Maxx, but TJ Hughes or something.
No.
It is, genuinely.
No, TJ Hughes has been around for ages. I used to work in TJ Hughes.
Oh, well, then it's not that. But they're changing their name. Not in airports, but on the high street they are. Everyone's going to still call them W.H. Smith. Don't know how much money was paid, but anyway. T.G. Jones. Absolutely nobody is going to be calling them T.G. Jones. Controversially, I still call it Jif.
Do you?
Yeah.
Sif.
No, it's Jif.
That's funny. I had a right big Sif session last night at the time of recording. I watched that Titanic documentary and it made me stressed and claustrophobic, so I went downstairs and siffed.
You siffed all over the worktop, didn't you?
Just needed to chill out, so I siffed my sink. I did. I'm not joking. I couldn't sleep.
Sorry, I've now become the other podcast I do, but talk to me about how you clean a sink.
Oh. Do you want me to go into this?
Yeah, I bet you it's not as thorough as various other people's.
So I start by giving it a rinse. Yeah.
Naturally.
Then I get Scrub Daddy out the cupboard. Barry, if you want. He's a good lad. So I get my Scrub Daddy.
Yeah.
Then sift it, but proper scrub it with Sif and Scrub Daddy. Get into a plug. Then rinse it, get me Dishmatic with the fairy.
Okay.
Rinse it again. This is when I'm doing it properly. Then dry it with a microfiber cloth. Then spray it with my vinegar spray. Bash.
Interesting.
Bash.
Okay, similar technique to Jonathan Vernon Smith, but not quite the same.
What does he do? Do the impression?
Oh, I can't. No, I can't do it on.
William. No. Do it.
The very good impression of me is him ordering in a restaurant, which is on my socials. That I was particularly good.
Do your impression of how he does it. So, William, go on.
No, it's in a restaurant. Every time we go out for dinner, he always orders a burger.
Does he?
Literally, he will study the menu for about 5 minutes, or a carbonara. We went out this week and it's a carbonara. And he'll study. He can't see the menu. He gets his torch out. He's studying the menu. And then
old.
Glasses on the end of the nose.
That's such a mum and dad thing to do.
Oh, I think I have the burger. That's all he does. It's like, I could have told you that. You didn't need to look at the menu. So Jonathan, my technique, do the rinse.
Yeah.
Jonathan and I rub our pink stuff on the sink. Same sort of cream cleaner.
I use that for my hob.
Okay, it's a cream-based cleaner. It's much for muchness. Rinse that off. Then we use a Jif/Sif stainless steel cleaner because we've got hang on, what material is your sink?
Steel.
You ceramic or steel?
Steel.
Okay. Then that off, and then we finish with a high buff polish.
All right. I want a Butler Belfast sink, whatever you call them. So.
Butler sink, Belfast sink, yeah.
I've always wanted one of them.
Yeah, but Jonathan always says with those, you've got to be careful because if you do the washing up drunk and you drop a plate, it'll smash. Whereas at least with a stainless steel, it's got a bit of give.
All right.
Anyway.
Fascinating.
Anyway, you can hear more of that sort of thing on the Luxury Podcast. This is from Anonymous. Dear William Jordan and the Sexted team, this dilemma has been plaguing me for a while now. I am, in the words of a past lover, a well-proportioned gentleman. Unintentionally and on occasion, this has led to a bit of VPL, visible penis line, in my shorts or trousers. I recently completed...
Screwed in grey joggers.
I recently completed the Hackney Half Marathon. I don't think it's from Ben. No, it's not from Ben. Thank you. And was eagerly waiting for the official race day photos to drop so I could put together a glorious Instagram carousel.
No.
Well, the photos are in. And while I look great, flushed with post-run pride, there is quite clearly some VPL going on. So my question is it tasteless to post these photos, or do I just say sod it and post them anyway? Many thanks, Anonymous.
Well, thank you, Anonymous.
Why don't you send them in and we'll be the judge?
I was just going to say, there's people in this room of certain persuasions, is that the right word? That were thinking that. But if you want to send them in, William will be happy to check them over. Chairman Emeritus Stu as well. And
we will all give it a go.
We'll have a look. Of course we'll have a look. We'll all have a look.
But what you could do is you could put some sort of strap across the middle of the poster going like, thank you. Or you could be a bit creative with some art.
How big's his cock?
Or just zoom in.
Like that.
We don't really need to see your legs, regardless of what else is just above your legs. Do we need to? We're not looking at it going, oh, what lovely trainers.
There's a lad who I was in year 9. There's always a lad, it's always in year 9, 10. We're only getting changed for PE. Yeah.
Well, no. because I
You know,
didn't.
we're getting changed. There's always one lad who's got just the biggest cock you've ever seen in your life.
You're in
Like,
year 9.
Yeah, but everyone else has got like year 9 willies. He's got like a full-on fucking schlong. Right? There's always one kid in year 9, year 10. And I often... that sounds weird. I often think now about him and think, I'd love to see his cock. Just... This sounds weird.
No, I'm waiting for it to...
I'd love to see his dick now, just to see if it's normal or like if we caught up, or is it just extra fucking.
Can you
fat
remember his name?
and big?
You don't need to tell us, but can you remember his name?
Yeah, I can. I might DM him, but then what do I DM him saying?
Show us your cock.
Just there's always that one kid at school that had a massive fucking knob, right? And then now I don't often think, but I think, if I seen his willy now, would I still think it's massive, or is it just normal? Have we like caught up with him because he'd advanced a bit quicker than the rest of us? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I love Joe who's working on the show for the first time. He's like got his head in his hands there. This is nothing, son. This is nothing. Welcome to the team. Yeah.
And we'll finish with this one from Anonymous as well. Hi, William and Jordan.
I'm DMing.
Let us tell you, I'll write to the Pope.
If you know who you are.
He may not listen.
Okay.
Homework.
You know what I mean? It's like that kid who had a full beard, like chest hair and everything in year 9. Yeah.
That was the matron for us, but... This is from Anonymous. Hi, William and Jordan. I'm a paramedic. A few years ago, I was called to attend to an elderly couple, where sadly the husband had passed away in the bath.
Oh.
While carefully trying to remove him with as much dignity as possible, I discovered he wasn't alone in there. Beside him was what I can only describe as an absolute unit of a dildo. To complicate matters further, the gentleman himself was still, well, shall we say, at full attention. So many questions already.
Joe's got his head in his hands again. Joe, told you. Welcome along.
Here's the dilemma. His wife had asked to see him one last time,
Oh my God, this can't be real.
and their daughter was en route. What is the correct etiquette for discreetly relocating a massive marital aid and addressing a rather persistent posthumous salute, all while trying to present a dignified image for a grieving loved one? Do you go for the modesty towel and hope for the best, attempt light, distracting conversations while subtly rearranging the scene? I did my best in the moment, but I've always wondered if there was a more graceful way to handle such a delicate situation. Any advice on proper death scene dildo decorum would be most welcome. Yours, mortified, a Bristolian medic. P.S. After 10 years on the job, I've built up quite the library of awkward ambulance etiquette dilemmas. Trust me, it wasn't even my weirdest Tuesday.
You can die with an hard on.
Well, yeah, that's where I went to, yeah.
I
Well, your
just
body
thought-
does stiffen up.
No, I just thought it'd go. Well, I mean,
At least he died happy,
oh God.
presumably.
Right. So what I would have done in that situation is say, I'll get him covered up before your daughter comes over so we can have a bit of dignity. And then I would have covered it up. And you kind of would have had to line it up with a towel. You know, the boner. You know what I mean? You know, like sometimes you have to line it up against your stomach. So
What?
I would have lined it up.
I'm just letting you speak.
Please don't. I would have lined it up and then I would have thrown the dildo out the window. And then...
What happens if a bathroom with no windows?
What?
What happens if it's a bathroom with no windows?
Well, then you just hide it somewhere else or take it with you. The man, you know... Imagine throwing it out the window and it just randomly...
Hits the daughter on the head.
Yeah, that's it. And then he's got to look after her. That's what I would have done in that situation. To just save the man and his family some dignity.
Regardless of whether there was a dildo next to the bath, he had an erection or not.
Bathing the dildo?
Well, just, you know, he was
that
having
a
a go
thing?
in the deep end.
The tapping.
Yeah. Yeah, move him to the bed, towel over, maybe even the bedclothes.
I despair, William. I despair.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Do people...
Assume, I mean, look, get back in touch, mortified Bristolian medic, but I presume, or indeed people that work in morgues, if you die with an erection, is that how it stays? Does it go flaccid at any point? Or do you have to be put in the coffin?
Thank you
Just
for...
a little bump in the lid at the funeral.
Thank you for your questions and dialect. They would be my mate in year 9, genuinely. Fucking massive. Thank you for your questions and dilemmas. Remember, you can listen and watch every Tuesday and Friday. And in the next episode, I have got a little surprise for you, William.
It doesn't involve someone from year 9, does it?
No, that's weird. No, because now we're
No,
35.
that sounds weird, actually.
Yes.
Who you were at school with when you were in year 9.
At the time.
Who is now also 35.
Yes.
Yes, is what I meant.
Yes. It's a surprise because I know we're both a bit stressed at the moment. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Slightly run down. Yeah. So, a little surprise for us on Friday. Make sure you listen.
Do I need to prepare anything?
Just bring a towel.
Bring a towel.
See you on Friday.
Do I need to douche?